Cool. Okay, let's go. Continue. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the K2 Graduate Experience. Today, Thakane and myself, Esmari, will be taking you through our experience in the hopes of giving you the information you need to understand what this amazing company called K2 is like and possibly convince you to register for our K2 Graduate Program, as K2 is there to lift off your career. So now just a little bit about Thakane and myself. We are currently completing the K2 Graduate Program. And we started in January. So we're just over halfway with the program, which means we're, at least in my opinion, that we know a little bit something or other about it. Also note that if you have any questions during the course of this webcast for us specifically, we will just have some time after for a Q&A. So please feel free to post any questions in the QA or in the chat function to the right as you basically think of them. And at the end, we will answer them. So Thakane will give you more information on exactly what we're talking about. So Thakane, over to you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and that you guys are keeping safe. So I'm going to just be basically answering based on my experience, and then Ez will fill in wherever she can. So the first question that we're starting with is, so what is the K2 graduate program? Okay, so K2 graduate program, it runs for a year. You can start at the beginning of the year or mid-year, depending on when you apply. So I guess for you guys who will be applying at the end of this year, you'll hopefully start in January, and then there'll still be another intake during the year. So the K2 program, you are there for a whole year and you are working alongside other graduates. And then will be doing an intro or learning more about the K2 program software, not K2 program, the K2 software for about a month or 2 months. And then rotation starts. So rotations means that you will be allocated or being rotating within the different departments within K2 just to gain experience and to really just understand what the different fields and aspects of K2 are. And that's about it. And then once you are done, you will then be evaluated based on that, and you go further from there. And then whichever department that you loved and that you best performed at is the one that you will be staying for the rest of the year. And then hopefully at the end of the year, if you really did perform well, K2 might just absorb you. But I know I'm just saying it, just telling you what is happening, but so much happens. You learn so much about your interpersonal skills and skills within any software field that you really can think of, and you learn a lot about K2. So it's not just as simple as the way I'm putting it. It's just going to be very broad, but it's basically for a year. First 2 months, you'll just be basically learning about the K2 software, and then you'll basically start rotating within the different departments. And that's just basically how it works. It can change. It's subject to change depending on how K2 feels for next year. So what I'm saying now may not apply next year, but I have a good feeling that it may apply, or they may just alter it a little bit compared to how we're doing it right now. Yeah. So the next question is, what am I enjoying so far? So what I am enjoying so far definitely is, like I had spoke about, interpersonal skills. I think every time you go into a graduate program, you think it's just going to be about like software and what you're supposed to do. But yes, it does very much open and focus on that, but it also focuses on your interpersonal skills. This is just within time management and learning to work with other people, and really can I say, well, I'm not going to say characteristics, but something that I learned is really going out of your way and finding out and trying to get help, because there may be a problem posed to you. But what I love about K2 is that they have this kind of, how can I put it? They just basically allow you and always advise you to, you know what, if you're stuck at something, you can always go ask someone or go research about it, because it's there, it can be done. So I think it really taught me to realize that even though you have a problem, it can definitely be solved one way or another. So that's what I'm enjoying so far, just that whole problem solving skills that I am getting better at and that I'm sharpening. That's definitely one thing that I'm enjoying so far.
Yeah, I can also build on that a little bit. So I mean, for me, it's definitely the case of that exposure to the variety of departments and skills that you get. It's also fun, like we said, that departmental shift to actually just shift your focus, get a refresh and start fresh with something new from time to time. I think other than experiencing, the work and the learning, which is obviously a valuable part of the graduate program, I think the other thing that I really, really enjoy is the people at K2. So in addition to our stand-ups and our company all hands meetings, all those general meetings, we also normally set aside some time to do a team-wide or department-wide meetup and just chat, catch up, and you see how everyone is doing. I think, seeing their faces again really helps morale, since everyone's also incredibly excited about everything that they do. There's always a lot of enthusiasm flying around, and this really hasn't changed since we've gone online. It also just helps make it feel like the people aren't that far away at all, which, especially considering they're so incredibly helpful and so much fun, it's really just great. And I think Thakane can especially attest to that. We'll speak a little bit more about this later, but everyone in K2 is so incredibly helpful. They really, really make sure that you're doing well, not just as an intern, but they encourage work-life balance, and they keep up the high spirits, which I feel is extremely important in industry like software development. That can get really stressful and overwhelming from time to time, especially with the world the way it is. Yeah, especially that. And I mean, to build on a little bit about what we're talking about, the prior knowledge that has been enhanced through the K2 experience, at least I feel that this is quite an important topic to talk about, because when I was at university, personally, I had a few times where I was like, sure, but is what I'm looking at and what I'm studying right now actually going to be relevant when I go to a company? Because, IT is constantly changing, constantly developing. I mean, the fact of the matter is, in a couple of years, we will have systems completely different to what we have now. Your phones are changing, your TVs are changing, the laptops that we're working on right now are going to be completely different in a couple of years. Who knows? Maybe we might actually not have a laptop. We might have, futuristic screens on our hands or our phones or in our glasses. Who knows? But K2 really does make the effort to actually invest in you as a learner and a potential employee. They help you to learn new skills whilst also enhancing the ones you may have had before. Additionally, I think it was important, obviously, for me to get that affirmation that what I was studying was actually relevant. Because a lot of the times, you'll study, especially I remember there was a system analysis class, and I got the theory, I got the topics, I understood, the stuff that would get me the marks, but I didn't understand how this was useful. I didn't understand why this was useful, and I still didn't. Even when I got my degree, I still was like, why did I have to do that systems class? But now working with clients and actually seeing the impact that our work has on them, it just puts that final puzzle piece into, the completed product. So enough about me. Let's actually talk about the technologies. Also, please feel free to take notes of some of these technologies, as it might be, things that you haven't heard of yet. So it could be a great growth area for you as an individual. So firstly, background, what areas have I been exposed to? I've been exposed to quality assurance within software development, app building and testing, sustained engineering, and professional services. So those are currently what I've been working in and working through. Now, all of these areas have exposed me to technologies that have either taught me new skills or expanded the things that I already knew. So let's talk about quality assurance. The whole idea behind quality assurance, as you can probably tell by the name, is to assure that the quality remains in the product or the system or whatever you're working on. So now, with me as a university student, I was really, really interested in robotics process automation, which is basically, no, it's not the big arms on the turmoil, putting parts together on a car. It's actually writing software that does the work for you, which, I mean, I'm lazy, so I'd love to see that. So with automated testing tools in quality assurance, we actually do something similar. And it's actually amazing to do something and see it work in front of your eyes for you. And with that, with the other departments, pretty much every language that I've ever learned has been extended some way or another. I thought I was pretty good at C#, and then I came here and I realized I knew nothing about C#, at least not anything to that extent. And I mean, XML, CSS, SQL, .NET, these are all technologies that are widely used across every single company. And they've been extremely extended, at least for me personally, to a point where I never thought that could be possible. Across the board, working with Azure DevOps, learning debugging skills and tools that help you in addition to working with the higher output teams, really, really make sure that there's no dull moments and that you learn really, really quickly. And then lastly, I think one of the most important ones, especially for those of you who are interested in consultations and working in that sort of area, is working on your business knowledge and your general business requirements, understanding what the clients need when they sometimes might not know what they want. It's a really important skill. You need to know how to speak their language while also still be able to speak, your own language with regards to technologies. And then this is another one that I think is very relevant to sort of any client, any sort of individual, and with any employer. I can tell you now, if you mention this, their eyes will just light up, because it's a technology or a methodology rather that is used across all companies, and pretty much every single company is trying to adapt this, which is agile methodologies, using things like Scrum, which talks about daily stand-ups, sprints, planning, retrospectives, and reviews. And it ultimately allows for collaboration. So it focuses on the 3 core dimensions related to collaborative work, which is awareness, articulation, and appropriation. So you can go read more about it and actually do a couple of free courses on it. It's really important, and it really drives systems in place to help keep track of our progress and our current workloads. So adding on to that a little bit, let's talk about the work environment at K2. So whenever I try and explain K2, I always use this story because I just think it was the first sort of experience I had with K2. Then I realized, yes, this is the company that I want to work at. So first day at K2, and this whole onboarding process, we get there pretty early. I'm sitting in the parking lot freaking out, dressed up to the T, might I add. It's your first day at the company, you want to make an impression. We get led to the boardroom, and Mirandi, the head of HR at this K2 office, shows up, and she takes one look at us, and she's like, sure. When I said business casual, I meant more casual, as we were all overly dressed to the T, a little bit too tight for the collar. And she was just so welcoming and so warm, and really just brought us into such a friendly environment immediately. They then took us through a walk through the office before we were shown to our desks, and I felt it was the first chance that I really got to see the people at K2, to see the different teams, and to get a glimpse of what working at K2 would really be like. I'll never forget the first time I walked past a couple of doors, and I saw a printout of the penguins from Madagascar with every single one of the teams and one of the support teams printed on top of it, with some sort of quote around it. And I just constantly saw these little bits of quirkiness all around the office, and it brings such a lightheartedness to an industry like IT, that can be extremely stressful, can be extremely busy and overwhelming. And everyone at K2 takes it, by their stride, and they somehow manage, well, not somehow, they know exactly what they're doing, but they manage to go through it and just enjoy it while doing innovative work. I always say that they really live and breathe the values of K2, which is innovation, brilliance, customer success, and togetherness. A simple sentence could be that they are brilliant and innovative people that strive to help their customer achieve success together. That's at least the way that I think about it. And then lastly, another thing that stood out for me was the actual recruitment process, because this is how you get into K2. I'm not going to give you the tips for it, so don't try now. But one of my favorite parts of recruitment was when we were given a technical assessment. It was basically just a project that when we were done, had to send it in for submission and review it. And then I had to showcase it to a few tier 3 engineers and the regional manager, which obviously I was extremely nervous about. When we got into the review, jumped onto a call, chatted for a little bit, and then we just got straight into it. And after my showcase, they gave me some really good hands-on feedback for my project, even when it wasn't guaranteed that I was going to work at K2. It wasn't a situation of, well, this person's going to come work for my company, I better make sure they know how to do my work for me. It was purely a case of, I want this person to understand. I want this person to learn and to develop as an individual. Because K2 really is just like that. They are so passionate about everything that they do and everything that they teach, that they're so happy to just have a chat with you about, like, oh yes, let's do this. And I showed them a plan for what I wanted to do, because I had some technical issues, so I didn't have the time that I would have wanted. But they sat and they went through it with me. They went through my ideas, and they were like, yeah, we can do this and you can do that, and you can possibly change it like this. And they were just so incredibly helpful and friendly and passionate. You could really feel the passion behind the words, and it shows you that they want to invest in you. And I honestly just think that that's the sort of theme that drives pretty much every single person at K2. But I think on that note, let Thakane expand with you why you should apply for the K2 graduate program. So Thakane, over to you.
Okay, so I would definitely say if you want to learn more and expand your knowledge when it comes to just IT and different software products that you have never known about, then I definitely suggest that you apply for this internship program. And this is really going to test your programming skills, as Esmari had said that she thought she knew C#, and then you get here and you realize that you haven't even scratched the surface yet. So definitely, if you really want to extend your knowledge and not just only focus on one thing, if you're a person who's saying, I really only studied software development and only knew about C#, for instance, but you really realize that there's so much more to IT than just C# and programming, I definitely would suggest that you apply for this because it's going to test you in all different areas. Like she had said, we have our quality assurance and testing, we have sustained, we have our professional consultations. This is more where you are developing not software, but applications. So definitely apply if that is definitely for you. And if you're just wanting to also be part of an amazing company that really takes care of its own people, and it's not about all the formality, but what is important here, one thing that I can stress is that if you do your work, then you're good to, all these other nitty-gritty things that people like, for instance, dress code or how you look, all these things, they're not of the importance here. Here it's about, are you working hard? Are you taking care of? Are you doing what is expected to doing? What's important? Are you actually getting what was told that you would receive here? They definitely focus, K2 definitely focuses on that. So if you are a graduate who's interested in that and just wanting to just join a group of really cool, funny people, very hardworking, don't forget about that, then I definitely suggest that you can apply for this program. That is my take on it. So the next question is, what requirements must you have? And I'm going to read them out from you guys from our K2 website based on our K2 graduate program, so I don't get anything wrong. The first requirement is a bachelor degree in computer science related, about 1 to 2 years software development experience on Microsoft server technologies. So so remember, a degree can also be BTech falls under a degree, and just a degree that you would have obtained at university. That is very important. That is on top of the list. It has to be in computer sciences or IT or ICT. Anything outside of that spectrum that is not IT related, unfortunately, it won't really work because this is about IT. This post is about IT. The K2 graduate program specifically focuses on that knowledge of programming, .NET or Java, scripting, and basic SQL. And the ability to understand flow of data, strong communication, ability to interact and communicate, which is a skill that all of us has, proven ability to troubleshoot and problem solving, ability to work efficiently, and yeah, basically just have really good university results and, not just be like a below average student, but as long as you understand, because like as Esmari had said, that there will be a test that you will undergo before you get accepted, or just like a part of the application process. So there it will be testing your skills, but what's very important is that you do have to have a degree in computer sciences, IT, and so on. So that is basically the requirements that you must have when you apply for this program. So I see here on the side, there's Q&As, but I'm going to let Esmari finish off, and then she's just going to tell us basically how we're going to answer if there's any of you who want to ask any questions. Es?
Thank you. So again, thank you for everyone else for listening, and I hope this was informative on who K2 is as a possible employer and how they can really lift off your career with the K2 graduate program. So please be sure to check out the K2 stand under the STEM HK Pavilion to find out more about K2. We have a couple of videos posted there, as well as previous webinars and more information as well, with a few contact details listed that you can grab. If you do have any questions to us directly, please feel free to use the chat function. As we said, we've got a couple of minutes now to actually take through and answer through your questions. So please feel free. And thank you everyone for joining. I do see there was a question on the K2 graduate program covering for BCom Business.
Mhm.
As Thakane mentioned, this is an IT post. So BCom Business, I don't think you would be going through the necessary requirements. But if you would like to, if your situation is possibly a little bit different, you definitely should feel free to contact the details that are listed on the K2 Pavilion stand. And we'll just give it a little bit of time now to answer any sort of questions. Please feel free to ask anything that you may have. Also, if you do want more information, it is obviously listed on the K2 website, so you can just go check there. I don't think I see any questions. We'll just give it a
There
little
is
bit.
a question from John for you, Ez.
Ooh, okay, cool. John, let me chat to you. Let's quickly publish that so everyone can see. So, question to Esmari. Why are you so excited about the company? What is your favorite part of the program so far and why? So my favorite part of the program, I definitely would say, is the departmental rotations. So the fact that you get to go work with, different departments, learn their processes, learn their procedures, and do the actual work that is specific to that department. I would say, obviously, there are certain departments that are more interesting to me personally, but that idea of actually being able to have a bit of experience in pretty much a wide variety of departments and actually getting to see, okay, well, this is what this is like, this is what that's like, is extremely, extremely important to me and has been the best part of the program because I definitely did not know any sort of which way direction that I wanted to go into IT. I mean, IT is massive and there's so many different departments in IT that really being able to work in those departments and actually just have an experience like that was really, really important and it's probably been the best part of it for me, other than, the things that I've already gawked about. And for you, Thakane, what was your favorite part of the program so far?
Definitely, I put emphasis on sharpening my problem solving skills. I used to think I knew how to do problem solving and I realized that I didn't. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that I'm able to really navigate now and understand how to problem solve most things and troubleshoot most things. So that is something that I'm enjoying so far. And just rotating in different departments is also something that I'm really, really enjoying. So that is my take on it. Yeah.
Awesome. It definitely is very, very useful. Is there any other questions? If not, there is a chat actually tomorrow on using the Sage website. The chat feature will be live again tomorrow. I think it's actually around about 12 to 1 p.m. somewhere around there. So if you do have more questions or you can't think of them just yet, definitely ask them tomorrow. Let's give 1 or 2 more minutes there for anyone if they do want to type out a question. And
I'm just gonna, this is just a broad question I'm sure a lot of people ask. I know it states that we're in Johannesburg, but we're actually in Constantia Park in Roodepoort. So we're right next to the MTN headquarters for those who don't know where that is, just in case some of you guys are just interested but are wondering exactly where it's in Johannesburg. Are we on the East Rand? Are we in the North? So we're in Roodepoort for those who want to, because I know that's very important, knowing where exactly you are applying for a job.
It's a pretty cool office as well. I'm just going to say that. I do see there's another question there. How is this graduate experience a paid opportunity? Yes, you will be a full-time employee. So you will be signing a contract. You will be getting paid per month. So it is completely a paid employment. Please go over the process of how to apply. So how to apply? Head over to the pavilion, the K2 stand pavilion. There is some links there of where you can apply. The main, I'd say the best way to do so is either to sign up on the website or to just send an email asking more information to the contact details that we have listed. But yeah, that's probably the best way that I would say. How many intern positions are available? So it obviously depends year by year. This year, we actually have 6 interns currently working at K2. But like I said, some things might change, but they would normally let you know what's going to be happening with that. Oh, now all the questions are coming in. It's like they had them saved. All right. Just see if there's anything else. like I said, I really do urge you guys to go and check out the K2 stand in the STEM A to K Pavilion. Most of the information is there, and all the links are there, especially on the K2 website itself. So www.k2.com. Pretty easy to remember, thankfully. And yeah.
Yeah, guys, and remember, you can, if you're on LinkedIn, you can also go look for K2 there on LinkedIn. You can actually see the other people who work there. Just if you want to, I guess, have an idea of who works there. So you can actually go through K2, because that's something that I definitely do check. You just want to see, okay, cool, at this company, I'd like to see the different positions. So if you, even if you're just interested in wondering, oh, I wonder within the graduate program after that, what are the positions? So if you can even go to LinkedIn or go on our website, and you can find out the different types of positions and that people play in a role. But I would also suggest LinkedIn would also be a really great place if you're still not really sure, which I doubt by now you are, but I was just suggesting go check us out also on LinkedIn if you guys have LinkedIn, and you can even see us. We're also there, and also the other people, the cool team part of K2. So you can also try that out.
Awesome. Shim, thanks there. Thanks for the great session, guys. Looks like a great company and we'll definitely apply. That is awesome. That's what we're here for. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being here. And thank you for all the questions and just taking the time to learn a little bit more. So from myself and Thakane, thank you guys. And otherwise, you can catch the review of this webinar on the actual K2 stand at the A to K Pavilion. I feel like I've said that 300 times. But please go check it out and have a wonderful week. Cheers, everyone.
Okay. Bye.